Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, honoring Arbor Day on April 26th, with an ongoing commitment to sustainable stewardship and conservation of Missouri's forests. ChooseWood.com.
From St. Louis Public Radio. This is St. Louis on the Air.
They won't forget us, no, never. This legendary love. Oh.
Everyone deserves legendary love, especially if you're like giving yourself in the right way, you're doing the self-work. I don't think that we need to like have mental trauma because of our relationships.
They won't forget us, legendary love.
I dreamt of this video before it happened.
You dreamt it?
He literally call it a purple loofah. That's what it looks like. New York is so expensive. You can't really build anything because you're paying to live every day, you know?
So you can't look ahead.
You really can't, but St. Louis gives us that.
I'm Sarah Fensky. Tonight, the St. Louis-based singer Lydia Caesar takes the stage at House of Soul. It's not just her first concert promoting her EP, Legendary Love. It's her first concert since the pandemic began. And with Caesar's new video getting major play on BET, it may be some fans' first introduction to seeing the singer live and in person. The video is for Legendary Love's third single, The Ones We Love.
Sunday, and we fell deep in love, deep in love. You promised me that one day.
And that is The Ones We Love from Legendary Love. That's the new EP by Lydia Caesar. And Lydia Caesar joins us today. Lydia, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Lydia, this song has really taken off. Why do you think that is?
I think it's the honesty of the song. You know, I think it's something that we can all relate to. I wrote it because a lot of times when we fall in love, right, in the beginning, we are on our job. Like, we are our best self.
For sure.
You know? And then when we get really into it, you know, a few years may pass by and we kind of become this lazy version of ourselves.
I'm feeling so seen right now.
I know. It's like we all feel triggered by this song, like, oh my goodness. And I think that just resonated with people. And then also the visual, I must say, came out so stunning. I think it's just great. So when the people at BET saw it, we actually pitched them 2 videos, and that's the one that they like fell in love with.
So you filmed this out at the Cahokia Mounds,
yeah,
is that right? And you have a
yes.
very elegant, a dress I don't normally see at the Cahokia Mounds,
right.
a purple ball gown.
Yeah, I call it a purple loofah. What it looks like.
Puffy.
It's very puffy. But I wanted that contrast against like the nature. I dreamt of this video before it happened.
You dreamt it?
Literally. I didn't know what to do for this music video. Like, I was just stuck, and I had so many different ideas, which happens with artists. Like, we don't know what's going on half the time. We're like, we want to do so many grand things. And I literally dreamt this. It was just that much weighing on me that I was like, I had a dream, and the next day I woke up and I like called my whole team, like my stylist, like, I need a huge poofy dress. And I called like the videographer, and we sat down and had a meeting, and we mapped out the whole video. So to see it come to life and just grow legs has just been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that must be spectacular. I know you've had songs that have been on BET before, but this is the one that's really been in rotation.
Yeah. I was on 106 in Park twice. They had what was called New Joint of the Day, which was a huge show on BET. So those moments were like everything to me. That was my first time like seeing my music on TV. But they're just those, you know, they just played once and that was it. This one is got picked up by BET Soul. They have a playlist called Sub Soul. So it plays 4 times a week, I think, and like 3 times a day.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so people are really getting to see the video. So it's just been awesome.
So Lydia, that has a lot of people wondering, who is Lydia Caesar? Yes. I understand you moved to St. Louis in 2014.
I did.
Now at that point, you were not a kid. You weren't brought here by parents.
Right.
Not everybody moves to St. Louis as an adult.
Who you telling?
I mean, I've done it. I encourage people to do it.
Yeah.
But what brought you here?
Well, love brought me here. My husband is a St. Louis native. His name is Wayne Adams. He goes by Wavy Wayne. He's in the industry as well. And he got a job teaching at the Extreme Institute on the Landing.
This is Nellie's
Institute.
Yes,
Nellie's Extreme Institute. He's a recording engineer, a phenomenal engineer, and he was engineering in New York, working for the rapper Jim Jones. But he was freelancing, and he wanted something more stable. He heard about the school, and when he applied, he flew home and interviewed, and he got the job. So that meant we had to move.
Was that hard for you?
Oh my God, it was so hard.
And you were from New York?
Already
born and raised.
Born and raised in Queens, New York. I have a huge family dynamic there. My dad's a minister, so we have like a huge church family as well.
That's hard to leave.
Oh my goodness, to come to St. Louis where I knew nobody. I was like, I don't want to. And at first I was like, we're not moving. Like, I was so hesitant about it. But what really made me say okay is when I came here and we looked at apartments. And I was like, hold up, we can get all this for this? Okay. We can do it.
At that point, you were sold.
At that point, I was sold because it's so much easier New York is a high stress level environment. It's very expensive. And also, I knew that it would never leave me. Like, that's my home.
Yeah.
So I often, when I first moved, I was home like every other month. I didn't even tell anybody I moved, like in the music industry. So I would still get called for gigs. I could decide if I wanted to come home for the gigs and stuff like that. So I will say the move has been great for us and great for me as well.
Did it take you a while to find your place here?
I will say no.
No?
And only because I'm just like a go-getter. I have the type of personality where I'm going to make myself fit. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to squeeze in.
Whether St. Louis is ready or not,
I'm
here's
here.
Lydia Caesar.
Look, y'all, this is where I am. And I developed a mantra when I got here. I saw it somewhere like on a wall in somebody's office. It said, bloom where you're planted. And I carry that with me every day. Like, I'm here, so I'm going to shine bright here.
And you said it's been good for you and your husband.
It has been. It's a city where you can really build. Like I said, New York is so expensive. You can't really build anything because you're paying to live every day.
So you can't look ahead.
You really can't. But St. Louis gives us that. So it has been great for us.
So I want to play an older track of yours. I find this so charming. You dropped a track called St. Louis, and this was in 2012. This is 2 years before you moved here.
Yeah.
Let's listen to this.
His style is so Midwest. He's polite and he cooks the best. So in love with this country boy. Hold me tight, kiss me right, brings me so much joy. He ain't afraid to say it, baby, baby, don't leave me. I won't leave you, boo. Ooh, God bless the miles that brought him my way. Ooh, St. Louis, I love you. You seem the perfect man. St. Louis, I love you. I finally understand.
And that is the song St. Louis by Lydia Caesar. Lydia, I just love this song.
Thank you.
I feel like I wish I had heard this back in 2012. That's when I was kind of grappling with my own St. Louis man. But this is such a compliment to St. Louis men here.
Isn't it?
I assume you wrote this about your husband.
I did, and it's so funny. I wrote this about him. We were like 4 dates in, maybe.
Oh, whoa.
It was really early.
I hope you didn't play it for him 4 dates in.
Well, no, but yeah, I guess I kind of did. I played it from really early. But here's the thing, like, I was so infatuated. We were just dating, and he was different from anybody that I ever met. And he was the first person I ever met from St. Louis in New York. And so I was just inspired by, I was like, if nothing else, I'm going to get a song out of this relationship. Who
and
knows?
you sure did.
Yeah, I was like, who knows what this will turn into? But I was very inspired by him and just the way he treated me and like the kind of love that we had, or not even love, infatuation that we had. And when I played it for him, I kind of thought he was going to be like kind of freaked out. But he was
fair.
right, but he was because he loves music. So he was so appreciative of
He knew it was a great track.
He was like, this is crazy good. Like, this is the kind of music that I love. Like, it's real, it's raw. And, you know, needless to say, it's worked out. You know, we've been married for 7 years. I live in St. Louis. So.
And not just that. I mean, you had a pandemic baby.
We had a pandemic baby.
Yeah.
She's 18 months, like, right now, a year and a half.
So very early on in the pandemic baby.
Yeah.
Was this an intentional baby?
It was.
Good for you.
It was. We decided it was time. He had been pushing way before me. I was like pushing it off. Like, man, another child. Do I want to have another child?
Because you have an older
I have
daughter.
a daughter who's grown. I was like almost finished. And then he has a son. So I have a stepson. So we had, you know, we never had a child together.
Yeah.
And we always wanted to. So, I said, it's time.
And so what was that like in the pandemic? Everything shut down. You're there, just your little family.
Yeah. You know what? The childbirth part was the hardest part because nobody could come.
Yeah, you're
like
doing it
my
alone.
other kids wanted to come. Yeah, Wayne could be there, thank God. But like his mom couldn't come see the baby. Like we couldn't see anybody. But what I must say was cool was, after you have a baby, you have to sit down and take a break. And that's hard for somebody like me because I have really bad FOMO, like fear of missing out. I want to be at events. I want to be outside. But everybody was sitting down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so bad, like being home with the baby
You
and
got
all that.
so much bonding with this new family.
So much bonding. And I didn't have to worry about missing any events because there were none.
And so this pandemic baby, this has worked out great.
It worked out. Yeah.
Well, so that has not stopped you from new music. You actually dropped a new single. This is from your new album. That St. Louis track I was playing. That's some Lydia
older.
Caesar from
Yeah,
old
throwback.
school. But this new song is also terrific. This is the title track from your EP, Legendary Love. Let's listen to that.
Everybody wanna feel this type of love. But we built this type of love from the ground up. Brick by brick, we built a house that they can't get in. Built a life that will never end. It was written in the stars before we began. Like an epic love song, they gon' sing our names forever. Etched in stone together. They gon' write about us when we're gone. The good, the bad, the lessons make us better. Love like this sits high up on a throne. They won't forget us, no, no, never. This legendary love. Legendary love. Oh, this legendary love.
And that is Legendary Love from the EP of the same name by Lydia Caesar. Lydia, of course, is my guest today. Man, it really worked out with this St. Louis guy. Like, this love story is just inspiring to me.
Thank you.
This song is like, wow, this is
Thank
love.
you. That means so much to me. It's funny, I named the EP before I wrote this song. This song is brand new. Like I wrote it maybe 3 weeks ago.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And is this the radio premiere? Or at least
this
the
is
public
the radio premiere.
All right,
Like I am
love it.
like in my feelings right now because this is and I listen to you all the time. So I'm a
thank
fan.
you.
Like this was like a booking of my dreams. I was like, please, can we book Sarah, please?
Oh.
So to be here and to like hear my music is just like so special. And I really wanted to just write a song that people who are in love can really, use as like something to live up to, know. I think that everyone deserves legendary love, especially if you're like giving yourself in the right way, you're doing the self-work. I don't think that we need to like have mental trauma because of our relationships, you know? I think that we can do better, all of us can really do better if we dig deep. And that's why I wrote the song, because I really want people to love legendary love.
So this is almost a call to some of us, like, yeah, you don't have to settle for something that's not as good. Like, you can have legendary love.
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Well, so this is a great track. This EP is just filled with great tracks. You have this concert tonight. This is at
Yes.
House of Soul.
It is downtown on Washington. I'm just excited. I I purposely booked all women for this concert. So I have 2 openers, Elisha and Drea vocals, both local talents who are phenomenal in their own right. I have DJ Nico Marie. She's such a great DJ. And Aloha Micho, who is like a St. Louis star in her own.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's been on the show as well.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She's our host. Her personality is just so fun and bubbly. And then the House of Soul is also ran by Nicole Stevenson. She is a Black queen. And I really wanted to put women, and specifically Black women, to work because the industry can be really tough for us, you know? And so I'm just happy to be able to give other artists platforms too. So the show is tonight. We still have tickets for sale. The reserved seating tickets are just about gone though, so you got to go and grab them now. But it's a big venue, so there's standing room for sure.
Okay.
And there'll be tickets at the door. Everythinglydia.com. That's my website. That's where you go to get the tickets.
Okay, well, that's a great promotion for that's for tonight at House of Soul. I
Yes.
understand doors open at 7.
Yep.
The show starts at 8.
Yes.
So this is your first concert since, I mean, so much has changed. The pandemic, you
I
have this
know.
18-month-old baby.
Yes.
Like, how are you feeling going into performing in front of people?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. You know, and this was a big undertaking. I produced this show, like, I'm not going to say completely by myself because I have a great team. Cafe Soul has sponsored it. Remy Martin is one of the sponsors as well. The Townsend Agency has helped me produce it. But I'm doing the work, like a lot of this myself. Like, this is a self-produced show.
Yeah.
I'm really, so much goes into putting a show together.
Oh, it's so much work.
Oh, my
Are you
goodness,
just going
it
to
is-
collapse tomorrow?
Oh
Like,
my God,
get
I
it.
can't wait. I'm so excited for tonight, but I can't wait for tomorrow.
I bet. And you're like
some
writing
rest.
new songs right in the middle of
Yeah.
all
Oh
this.
my
I mean,
goodness.
this has been a productive time for you.
Getting the EP finished in time was a whole we could do a whole interview on that alone, you know, and just planning everything. We have a 360 camera that's going to be there today, like the 360 photo booth. We have live painting, like a live painter is going to paint during the show, drink specials. It's just going to be a whole vibe.
This is going to be a whole vibe. Well, we want to encourage people, check out Lydia Caesar tonight at House of Soul. Details are at everythinglydia.com. Again, the doors open at 7 o'clock tonight. You'll want to get your tickets now. Reserved seats almost gone.
Yeah.
Lydia Caesar, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me, Sarah. And listen, if you're listening in the second run of this show, come out the house right now. Leave right now.
There you go. Go to House of Soul. It's not too late. And it's not too late. We're going to go out of the show with just a little more of that song that I can't stop digging. This is so good. This is, again, more from the new EP, Legendary Love.
Oh, legendary love. They'll tell stories about a phenomenal love. No matter what they threw in our way, we still overcame.
And tomorrow on St. Louis on the Air, we'll learn about a new initiative to help St. Louis artists get the jump on home ownership. WashU trained psychiatrist Dr. Dale Anderson will discuss the power of cognitive behavioral therapy. And we'll learn about how communists took over St. Louis in 1877. That was the first time an American city was ruled by communists. Interesting history there. More reporting from the St. Louis on the Air team is available at stlonair.show. And you can also find our podcast by searching for St. Louis on the Air wherever you get your podcasts. St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Thank you for listening. I'm Sarah Fensky.
They won't forget us. Legendary love. No, 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 no. Legendary love.
This episode was produced by Jane Mather Glass, with audio engineering and podcast design by Aaron Dorr and production assistance by Jane. Our executive producer is Alex Hoyer. St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio. Understanding starts here.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations. And leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thanks.
St. Louis Public Radio is a member-supported service of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, honoring Arbor Day on April 26th with an ongoing commitment to sustainable stewardship and conservation of Missouri's forests. ChooseWood.com.